There are few women in political and leadership space in Nigeria. Currently, only 7 out of the 109 senators and 22 of the 360 House of Representative members are women. To explain the lack of representation and why it matters and how to remedy it, we shall be looking at a very, very important topic: women in politics. I have with me Sambo Solomon and Joyce Yakwari, and together we shall be digging deep into women in politics. I'm Stella Elisha, and I'm happy to have you, Joyce and Sambo Solomon.
Thank you very much, Stella.
Thank you for having us.
So this topic, women in politics, it's something that is very dear to my heart because looking at the statistics, we've looked at the representation of women in political space, and it's not just a Nigerian problem. It is a global problem because if you look at globally, just about 24% women are being represented in, let's say, top leadership and positions. Now, people begin to ask, why is that? Is it because the woman is being regarded as a second sex? Because that is what is being looked at, even in invitation cards, not just in politics. It's Mr. and. So it now makes the woman to look like she's the second in place. She doesn't have a place because we've heard where they say the woman's place is mostly in the kitchen, the woman's place is mostly in the bedroom. And we've heard phrases like this coming back and forth, back and forth. Why? Because the woman has not been given the opportunity to be able to show what she can do, especially when it comes to nation building. And if we're going to look at it like from Monday down to yesterday, when we look at the progress of Nigeria, this is another progress we need to look into. How far have women been given the space to actually showcase what they are able to do when it comes to contributing their own quota to nation building, especially in the political space, as we're celebrating the democracy come on Sunday. And it's very, very important that we look at what the woman can do when it comes to contributing her own space. So Joyce, I don't know, what can you say concerning that to us?
Okay, I wish you gave that to Solo first because they are biased in, putting the men.
I'm saving it for him.
Putting the men forward before the women.
Yeah.
Just like I'm afraid for you to start with Joyce. I know that I'm in for it, because
we are
today.
not
I'm not. I didn't say we are fighting, but it's a woman thing today. So it's okay. It's fine. I'll be chipping.
Why are you here? Okay, so it's true that politics governance hasn't been fair to women, and it's not just a Nigerian factor, it's globally. And because of so many other factors that I know in the space of our discussion we'll mention some, but one of the greatest is this: leadership is always given to the men. Where you talk leadership, the first gender that will come to your mind, the men first, before even the women. At home, in the church, or religious setting, even in the society, even in the wider society, that's in politics and governance. When you look at it, mostly is the men that come forward, and the women are always put aside. And even themselves, they put themselves aside because they feel, okay, they cannot even compete with the men. And if there should be maybe an election at the end of the day, it's the men that will win over them because there's no fairness and there's no balance. And like I said, they're a factor only. Globally too, we have this serious issue. And just like you said from your introduction, there are 7 out of 109 senators in Nigeria, and we have 22 out of 360. If you calculate that, that's approximately 6% of the population of women in politics. And if you look at the population of Nigeria, half of the percent of the population are women. So why do we have less representation, in politics, in governance, and every other place that you're talking about? Why do we have less representation? It's because the home is also carried. Whatever is done in the home, the setting of the home is even carried to the bigger society. Yes, the men are the husband is the head of the family and is regarded everywhere you go, even in the society, even at the workplace. There are organizations that actually follow that. And like I will always say, I don't really believe in gender equality, but I believe in equity. you know, which will, if you understand these two factors, you will understand the level of how politics should even be practiced in Nigeria, even how policy should be practiced in the society. No matter the grassroots, even if it's from the grassroots or the bigger society, equity, where you put it into consideration, that will be achieved. And you know, women sometimes I blame them for not being in politics or for not having the representation. It's not just about okay, the government is not fair, politics is not fair to them. What have they done over time, you know, to be representative or to have the representation? If we're always crying that, okay, we are not in politics, they don't even give us the chance, what have you done on your own? Do they even know you from the grassroots? Because if you are not known in the grassroots, I don't think you'll be successful in politics. You have to start from the grassroots. And what do I mean by that? If it is from your community to the local government to the state, before you even move to the federal, that's how you grow in politics. Unlike the men that, okay, they don't even have to work that hard, maybe from the grassroots, you know, because of some factors that we mentioned. There are some that they can be lucky enough, not from the grassroots, and they move forward. But you as a woman, you have to start from somewhere. They have to know you. You have to represent yourself, and you have to prove that you can do some certain things.
You know, you really strike my mind when it says, as a woman, you have to prove yourself. So it makes me look like, is it because Nigeria is a fatherland that makes it look like the man already, the ground is really fertile for you, so you don't need to push forward. But as a woman, you need to prove your capability at every point in time. You need to let people know that I am able to do this. And regardless of, especially looking at the environment, because yesterday when we were looking at the program, we mentioned the fact that the environment is not conducive, and especially for the woman, the environment have always not been conducive. So if we see women that are actually representing us in various places, the women that regardless of the oaths, they try to push forward and say that I can still represent, I can still show, I can still do something. And you know, Joy said something very important, that what have you done? If we are always saying we want to be represented, if we want people to say that, yes, the woman is not just the second sex, but the woman can do something. The woman can actually play her role. The woman can be seen that not only can she contribute in the house, but she can also contribute in the church. She can also contribute in governance, because we cannot talk about governance without the women. Women are more than dancing. It's only when we are having campaigns we see women dancing. It's when you need a vote, you give women rappers and mic. Why? Because you know that our number,
have the power.
You know our power. You know that women, when we are talking about figure, we are really, really representing. But yet, we are not given the opportunity. It's only when it comes to something little. If we are looking for campaign rally, we are looking for market women, because we know that is where the votes are coming. That is when you see the men start looking for the woman. Why? Because you know that she has something to contribute when it comes to nation building. Now, so we said we are saving you for the last, because we're really going to bombard you, because the men are actually the ones that have been pushing the women to the... Yeah, you've been pushing us a lot. So let us hear, why is that so? Is it that we've not proven ourselves enough to the men for them to give us the opportunity to be able to show? Or is it that we need to work to show you that, yes, we are able, we are capable of actually ruling?
Well, first of all, before I say anything, I think I have to appreciate first the position of women. You know, God knows that we need you people, and you are very important. You are key in whatever man is doing, and that is the reason why you are being created. And I want to say that if you look at it globally and you narrow it to our country, Nigeria, you will say women are really trying. For the few ones that have been given the opportunity and they know what they are doing, they have proven themselves beyond reasonable doubt that, yes, if you have a woman that really is out to do what she is supposed to do in her chosen career, you give her the environment, she will thrive. And if we say we should mention name, we will keep counting. But what we are trying, what I will say is that it's not enough. Women need to be given more space. which, if you ask me whether the atmosphere is conducive or not, I would say yes, and I would say no. If you say it's not conducive, where is Ngozi Nkonjo-Iweala now? Where is she traveling? Is it in a different world or this world? If you talk global, she stopped there. She's really playing her card. She's playing it well. And the entire continent of this globe are really feeling her impact. Because I remember before this present election, that had to do with continent. Some continent had to give her. Because they knew of what she's carrying inside her. So where is she operating? Is it in a different environment? It's the same environment that we are talking about. That is not conducive, but yet we find people thriving. Talk about Dora Akunyele of a blessed memory. You know her struggle. Starting from even NAFDAC, see what she has done. She have changed the narrative, of how drug administration, used to be in this country, that to a point that even the drug barons have to gang against and fight her. And she stood her ground. And then someone saw her and said, yes, this woman, she has something to offer beyond that level of being the boss in NAFDAC. They gave her Minister of Federal Republic of Nigeria. And she did well. What am I trying to say? The little opportunity that women do have, most of them don't use it. They don't use it. Because why? Sometimes people find a situation whereby they can just say that the environment is not conducive, that is why this and that is not happening. But we have established the fact that is a global thing, which if you look at the Beijing conference in 1995, right? Women advocate for 30%. That's globally. 30%. That means women have recognized, have agreed that is men's war. Right? But in this 30%, we expect to see women really taking that 30%. And then, yes, the 30% is what they are asking. But in some countries, they are not even getting up to 5%. Is a fact. Right? Okay, in national gender policy, they recommended, that's in Nigeria, they recommended not even the 30%. They recommended 35%. That they felt the 30% that the global women are asking is not even enough. That means we recognize that we need more women because of their contribution. And then the 35% is what the national gender policy recommend for the government. And then that is both elective and appointive position. You understand? But if you look at it, one of the challenge that we have is the issue of religion. And coming back to religion, for us, we will say in the Bible, God have already set the standard. It is man, woman. That is it. And any struggle to make it look like a woman supposed, it becomes questionable. Because you will fall in between the issue of, what do you call it, this time around, equality. You understand? Feminism. That the world is pushing. But you see, if you follow that, I so much believe, me, based on my religion, based on my belief, I feel, yes, recognizing that man is the head doesn't stop you from achieving what you want to achieve. You see, the only problem is that when you always find out that the person you are with Let me go back to Ngozi Nkoji-Iweala. You understand? Looking at where she is now, you will know that her husband has been supportive.
True.
And that is why she's able to achieve, or she's achieving what she's achieving right now. And then you look at the former president of Liberia. That means she have the support of her husband. So sometimes we don't have even support from our partners. That's where the problem comes. It's not the issue of the woman now wants to take over, but you look at her dream. What is that she wants to achieve? Even as she still maintain and remain your wife, submissive, doing what she's supposed to do as a wife. She's doing, and you are pushing her based on what she does. That is where you will see the problem coming. And then if you narrow it down to even the women, you will find out the women are their own problem. You talked about population earlier. Let's look at the population of Nigeria, 200 million, and you have 100 million. And if you look at the percentage of people that come to vote, if we are talking of elective position, people that normally come out to vote, you find that mostly are women and their children. That's the youth, not children, I mean, yes. And the youth, where are the men? All they need to do is just to bring wrapper, like you said, bring salt and tell you that just give me this and this. I will make you. They will just create one office that even some of the women, not all, will be comfortable and said, okay, if that's the case, let me give out my own. Just imagine this present APC primaries that is going on. We have only one woman presidential aspirant candidate among the 23. She's the only woman. Okay, before the election, you are expected to come and then address the delegate. Coming out, she said because she's a mother. Because she's a mother, she's dropping for Tinubu. So is he not a father? That he can as well say, because my woman have this ambition and aspiration, let me support her. And then she's dropping. And we are looking up to see men dropping for her, and she gave it up to Tinubu. I don't have problem with Tinubu, but I have problem with his age. Even if you are dropping, why not Bankole? You understand? Yes, you are a mother, so let's identify him as your son, that you want to now support your son. You get the point. So these are some of the things that you see people really calculating, and then they can't really place it. They can't really place it. So that is just me, my own angle. If you allow me, I will talk and talk and talk.
Because it looks like we are the problem of ourselves from the way it's looking like.
And sorry, Sele, if you look at it from during the military era, you know, that is when all of this agitation started. But if you look at it, you will see a reasonable growth. Like the women are really owning up. They are coming out. They are presenting their case. It's not easy, but I just feel, yes, we are getting there. In the Third Republic, then during the election, it was only 2 women deputy governors that we had then. You know, Lagos and Cross River, right? And then in House of Senate, it's only 1 person. And then you look at that is Mrs. Kofa Akireli. Then, so you see the number compared to now. You will say yes, there's at least a reasonable improvement. So when you compare this and then you see women really taking their place, I so much believe there's light, you know, after the tunnel. I so much believe, but I just feel that women should really wake up, do the right thing. Don't see yourself like you are just there. Any small pressure, you give it out. If you talk population that we said, if all women will say, okay, now we have in the history, for the first time, we're having a female aspirant representing a party, a ruling party for that matter, as a governor in the north, in Adamawa. The APC candidate is woman. So you can imagine, she was able to defeat people like the almighty name that we hear, Ribado. Yeah. Ribado was a national name. Yes, but she defeated him. That means she really worked, she did her grassroots. And ask me, who are the delegates? Most of them are men. Mm-hmm. That means men voted her. So you can see. So imagine in the general election, she won. That would be the first female governor in the north. So you see, we have culture, we have religion. Those are some of the barriers. But I feel we are getting there because people are beginning to understand the issue of governance, capacity. You understand? Once we understand that very well, I don't think it's going to be an issue. If I know that Joyce is the only one that can deliver, why not? Why not support her? Why not give her all that she needs? You understand? That's my point.
I know, moving forward with the discussion, I think we need to perish the idea that we've gotten right from maybe our basic background and the argument that we always back it up with the Bible, where it is always said that women should submit to men. It's clear when you read your Bible, you understand, but that's an argument for a different day. Not, I wouldn't like to bring it here. I am supposed to submit to my husband, right? But doesn't mean that I should go about submitting to men, any other man that I see and whatsoever. But just like I said, it's an argument for another day, which shall be discussed on a different platform or whatsoever. It's because of that same idea that people bring up, and they tend to, try to, okay, you are the weaker vessel, or you are the this, you are the that. And sometimes you see that a woman is qualified for the job, but she's not given that position because she is a woman. Like, okay, let it be a man that should rule over. No, does that mean that just because I'm a woman, I am qualified, I've gone to school, I have all these things, and a man that doesn't even have all these qualifications, he's not even qualified for the position, he'll be given just because he's a man? No, that's why I said we need to perish the idea. If you look at, just like Ngozi that you mentioned, if you look at her profile, she's not a small woman. She actually groomed herself. If you check her profile, her educational background, whatsoever, even Dora that you're talking about, they didn't just wake up and it was just, okay, yes, let me try and see what will happen. No, they groomed themselves, and that's why education is very necessary even to the women. If you want to represent in politics, in governance, we have to be educated. We have to push it. We have to push ourselves to do. We should stop looking at ourselves as, okay, I'm a woman, what is my final destination? It should be the kitchen. Or what is my final destination is for my husband, when I marry, and that is it. No, if you have ambition, if you know that, okay, you have ambition, it will benefit you, it will benefit your family, it will benefit your husband. It's not just about, being so regular, or I don't want to use the word modest now because it will even kill my own explanation of what I'm trying to say. But if we understand it, that is what we need to do. We need to be educated, and we need to be educated even in politics, because there are so many women that don't even know what politics is about. There are so many women that don't even know what governance is about. Support from the men that all these women in this highly placed profile married, they supported them. You will see that they did one thing or the other to even push them, in achieving whatever it is they achieve. But if you look at some factors that are stopping women from going forward in politics, just like I mentioned, education, then not realizing the grassroots. You mentioned something very important. When men want to campaign, or they are coming out for positions, they go to the market women. They know the strength, they know the power of these market women. But we women, we hardly do that. Even when we do that, we have the problem of women supporting women. We all is the same women that will rather support someone different than to support our market woman, that even to support our own woman, to represent us. Forgetting that when she represents us, she has the experiences of our needs. that it will be brought to light, it will be brought, it will be given attention. You know, what are the needs? We're exposed to sexual harassment, we're exposed to rape, we're exposed to so many things as women. If a woman represents, she will know where it pains, and that's she will shine, like there'll be a spotlight on the problem, and it will be done. Men, I'm not saying men won't understand, but they won't understand it better as how a woman understands. You won't understand the pain better than you experience it. And who are the people that are suffering from this? The women. But we don't push them. We don't talk about pushing the woman that is coming out. Okay, she's a member of Market Woman. Okay, this is a woman coming out. Let's campaign for her. You know, let her go there because she will do. Sometimes we even think when she gets there, she will be bigger than also she will start. You know how women think. I'm not saying this is a general thing, but most times that's how women think. They feel, okay, if they push you, you go there, you start, you know, intimidating us with one thing or the other. We are not even mates again. No. Push, continue pushing. There's one person that will make a difference at the end of the day, because we suffer from religious and even cultural norms. We suffer from unequal rights, and we suffer from gender stereotypes. Who will help us in this? The women. We always celebrate International Women's Day, and mostly it's our DPs that carry women, we post them. But what are we doing separately aside social media? Do we push? No. What I really opportunity, I think that's an unfair, for me, is unfair, because the opportunities are not even given. Okay, in the Senate, or let's say in Nigerian politics, was the 30% or the 35% was he granted for the women? He's not. Do you understand? No, I understand what it's something that we want. It's something that they are even suggesting, but it wasn't granted at all. Okay, even if it is not for the elective positions. What about nominations? Since women don't want to even come out for elections, they don't want to come out there. We have the appoint. She feels, okay, this man, you know, he has the experience, he has this, he has the that. She like lists down all those setbacks that 30% should even be there. Push women. Look at the case in Rwanda, have the 50%. Where we don't have the women, yes, we are suggesting 30% for them, but the women are not even coming out. So let's put men. Before you know, men take it over. It's more like teasing a dog with something, and at the end of the day, you eat it at the end of you know, it's unfair. That's what I feel. So I don't think they don't really utilize their position. They suffer from a lot of other things. And it's not like I am backing the women because, okay, I'm a woman. No, I'm just stating the fact of what has been the argument in Nigeria over time, and even in other countries. You know, okay, let's look at women. You've stated women that made a difference. Dora, we have Ngozi, and don't forget Margaret Ekpo, the first woman to be in politics. What did she do? She was extra. Give a woman a chance. She will do it to the best of her ability. She will do it to the best. The religious kind of thing. There are some people. There are some religion that sideline women. They feel, okay, the woman should not even be put at the front line because she's a woman. She's supposed to stay at home. You know, over time, I think that should change. I'm not trying to change the culture of people, but I'm trying to make them understand there is more looking at her as an oven where she's positioned. Even as a follower, you know, what are you doing differently? And don't forget that leadership is service. Leadership is not all about being bossy or being whatsoever. No, it's service. You are ready to be a servant. You are ready to serve your people. And who can do that better? Someone that has the experience of being a follower. Someone that has an experience also of being a leader. True. So that has to change.
Yeah, I think.
Briefly, during Goodluck Jonathan, you see, there was this force, there was this agreement, you know, from women. Because I feel women need to do more. Women need to define what they want and go for it and stand.
Do you think we've not defined it so far? Sometimes
there's a way they break you. You see, I will say so far, I think it's the regime of Goodluck Jonathan that, you understand? Yes. Why?
And I will even put it under the umbrella of networking. That was what they did.
Yes.
It was a networking kind of system where it's more like, okay, I know your ambition to be this, then I'll start coming close to you, like let you know what I can do. And before you know, when he gets into a man, you know, that might just be recommended, or because, okay, this person is Ngozi. Do you think it was just one day that she was appointed what she was appointed? No. Based on recommendation, what she has done before. Even a point that they couldn't even do without her. They had to
force him to put it as one of his cardinal point of campaigning their vote. And that's what's happened. I can't tell.
After he left.
You understand? So we want to see
the idea or whatsoever it is, you know, and put in place. The next administration should also continue with
the agenda.
I think every administration that have been in power so far, everyone comes with its own different ideology, and that is why we are having, when this regime comes, whatever he or she says about religion. But we also have people that, regardless of their religion, they have tried to break the glass door. Let's not forget about Aisha Yusufu. She was from that place, but she had to prove herself. She had to say that regardless of the religion I belong to, I need to break that wall, because as a woman you will never be given the opportunity. Solo you and over, and it's not about giving proving ourselves once and then we sit back. We prove ourselves, we keep proving ourselves over time, for the man to know that yes, the woman can do something. Woman as your vice. Why? Because this is part of us trying to agitate and trying to say that we are able, we have all it takes. Men should be given at least just the 30%, talking about the 35%, but nobody listening to her. As far as I'm concerned, whatever she said, her plea was given a deaf ears. Why? Because we could see there was even a protest at the end, because women needed to be heard. Okay, we're talking about celebrating the International Women's Day. This year's team said something about gender equality today.
Your agitation already, it will just show a man that is a problem when you say gender equality. No.
Just a word that you get carried away when we said equality.
No. But you know, there are places when you talk, you know, there are certain things that work for America. It doesn't work here, no matter how good it is. You have to be sensitive with that. Gender equality is a global phenomenon. You understand? But when you narrow it to your own Nigeria, for instance, you know what it passed and you know what it does. So even in presenting your issues, you should find a way of putting it. Because when you say gender equality, okay, now the issue of equality now set in, and the man you get the point.
I get your point, Solo, but when I say gender,
wait, I think that's why from the beginning I said we should perish that idea. And I've always said it's not like I don't really have always fight when
fairness.
No, you mentioned gender equality there. Let's say maybe if we're given the opportunity of 50% and 50%, remember what is good for you also good for me. You understand?
Sure.
That is, in the clearer sense of equality, that is what it means. Okay. What is good for you is good for me. And I you that don't understand.
You're the one that is not getting it, because you're saying that whenever we talk about gender equality, the man feels threatened because he feels as a woman.
Saying that, okay, we want to be equal. It's not the issue of feminism.
Do you know why I say this? I'm bringing down to, I narrow it down to Nigeria, and I break it to region. We have the East, we have the North, we have the West. They have culture, they have beliefs. And all of us know what those beliefs says. Like me, I've laid it. I said, as a Christian, my woman cannot tell me gender equality. It depends on the context or how she want to put it. Because God has placed me above her. There's no two way about it. But when it comes to work, we are working in an office. You understand? We are working in an office. And based on your position, you are placed above me. That doesn't mean it's a gender equality.
But can your woman be a president of the country that you are?
Sure. I was about to set that example.
I just made an example. I said understanding the capacity and the ability of person. And that's why I made an example with one state in the north, which in my widest imagination, I have never capacity to deliver. It's not being saying she's unity to do that. We have to separate that. Because already there's a global push about gender equality. So once you say gender equality, that's the first thing that comes into people's mind. Because the people that are pushing it globally, that's not what they mean when they say gender equality. Are you with me? That's the point. So we have to separate it. I just narrow it to ours. So we can't take it off from even religion. And this gender equality, you can't ponder it based on religion. As a Christian, you should know that. But that doesn't stop someone from doing what the person God has given him the capacity to do in leadership. You don't say because Joyce is a woman, she cannot be the GM of Equa Television, for instance. No. If God bless her and put her with that capacity that she can drive the station, she can be the GM. Not because men are there, then you will say no, because Solo is there, Joyce cannot be. And I should be. That's not fairness. Even the Bible does not support that. You get it?
Well, I get your point, but when I was saying when I was talking about gender equality, it's all about giving them a fair ground, because already if you've stated it as a Christian, the man is up there, the woman is here. Definitely, when the ground is not level, there's no how be able to play equal to you. Why? Because I've not been given that equal ground. Already as a man, for example, you said Nigeria, it's a fatherland already. So as a woman, I need to work it out each moment, each time, to be able to prove my competence and also to prove to people that I can perform in whatever position I'm being given. But as a man, people don't even take that time. People can overlook your lapses, but I will not be overlooked. Why? Because I'm a woman. Personally,
I kick against that. Anywhere I see injustice, I frown at it. You will not understand the pain until it's been done to you. Then that's when you will understand. So when you see such things happening, you will just see it as lack of enlightenment. You understand? And then people grew up in an environment whereby, a lot of compromises, that everything goes. We can't live like that. You see, in a community, if you want to be, put yourself in a committee of nations, that yes, you will say this country is this, then definitely you have to occupy any position. Give it to her. We should understand. And even the women should push it, not just push anything. Did you hear that loud voice, like the women coming and telling them, this is what exactly I will do for you when this opportunity is being given to me?
Do you know why that is? Before I make this point, I just want to say something from the last point you made. Religion is to even the question of fairness and justice. Let's not forget the media also have especially when we have so many candidates in media, maybe the woman in politics, and we are talking about in media, we talk about her in a sarcastic manner, or we talk about her like, why this one doesn't even know the men, the giant. These when the campaign started in Nigeria for the presidency, we had so many women. We even had a woman of 30. What does she have to offer? We don't even know her, or should we even get anywhere? And that's where it stopped. And that's what brought her to spotlight, because of those negative comments. It wasn't the positive comments that brought her into spotlight. This woman that dropped yesterday for Tinubu, most people didn't even know about her at all. It was yesterday when she was making her speech and saying, okay, she's a mother, and that is why she's dropping, so that someone, the Jagaban, can rule over or take over the ticket. That's where some people even knew about her. We don't even put her profile. We don't. When Osibajo was coming out, Tinubu and everybody, go to Facebook, go to all the social media, they posted them and their profiles. Like, you could read everything about them. But for the women, there was nothing like that. It was as if, okay, it's an end game even before they started. And it's unfair. I think, you see the equality we are talking about. What is good for this person should be good for me. Sure. If I'm coming out to the same position that you're coming out, the media should be fair to me. When they're putting you out there and talking about the campaign state that you've been, putting your profile, you finished from this university, did that, you did. The same thing should be done for me too. I have campaigned in these places. This is my profile. And maybe I even have more qualification than you, but it's because it's not portrayed. So the media has a role in making
changing
the narrative of what has always been.
I agree with you totally. I agree with you totally, because if you see, sometimes when things like these are out there, you look at the people that even project, and you look at their position when it comes to women. You find out that there are people that doesn't even believe like a woman can drive anything. That's when it pissed me off when a woman, they would say, "Shut up, like sit down. You are a woman. You shouldn't talk." No, and you find women very intelligent, very like they can even talk at that gathering like better than.
And even at this point in Nigeria, do you know the president that we need is a woman? Because Nigeria has suffered, it needs a woman to nurture it.
To nurture it. Because we have the heart of nurturing.
And yes, just jokes aside, it is said that when women are in politics, they are in power, that there will be no banditry, insecurity, and whatsoever. It will just be one state not talking to the other states.
Because of beefing.
And is that not easy for us?
Easier than fighting all this banditry and all the rest.
No, they have their own way of talking to their children. So
imagine Nigeria not talking to the US because they are women in power, they are in president, or Nasarawa State not talking to Gombe State because they are women, and maybe they were invited for a ceremony. You are the governor of Gombe State, I'm the governor of Nasarawa State now. We are invited for a ceremony, and maybe I wore something that you wore the same thing. That's beef, and that's how we'll start it.
And that's the only beef we have. But one thing is that we love ourselves, regardless of the way we possibly say we're having our little back and forth. Just like you said, one of the problems we have is because we do not support our own.
You see, in smaller things, you could see that unity, you could see that support, you could see that backing. Just to mention, like for instance, in 2 occasions I've witnessed whereby a woman, witnessed a woman in labor, in an open place. You understand? And I saw how women, donated one wrapper immediately, and they cover her.
Because then, that's something that they can relate with.
You understand? I seen a situation of an accident that women rush, like that. Why can't we build it to a bigger dream, and keep that cycle and support each other? Not just anybody, but people that we know that can deliver.
We're doing
I think it's important. It's not enough. That's what I'm saying. The more that we men are not giving you enough space to really showcase, and you are still pushing, and then some people are really making marks, out there. They are proving themselves, Why can't you just keep pushing? Keep pushing. Let's keep pushing.
So, I like
men,
what you're saying.
Yeah, and for the men, let's understand that it's not the issue of, yes, because God has pleased you, or both men, and then you begin to treat women like slaves. No, they have their place. In God's sight, we are equal. But according to his own principle and standard, he separated it because he doesn't want chaos. So we should understand that. And I think by doing that, our society will be better. True, I'm telling you, the society will be better.
So, look, this is very important, what you said. And we should not even forget the other negative side of women hating on each other. We have to kill that. We have to perish that. Because we can't say we want to love, then we kill each other. You look at a scenario where a woman wants to be in politics, women will start calling her ashawo, which is a local term in Nigeria, which means prostitute. Like any woman that wants to be successful, that's the name they tag to her. And it's the same woman,
so you're too ambitious.
The same women, that will tag her that. And there was a time we saw a video where one slapped the other and called her that name. And you'll be wondering what is happening. What is that?
And it will surprise you, one of them won a ticket to represent a party in the next coming general election, and see what they displayed.
So we have to stop that. Then we have to stop the hate speech too against one another. Let's push one another. Who do we have? We have each other. If I have the ambition to be this, push me to do it. And sometimes we have the interest of our women because we want to go to politics. We've groomed ourselves, we want to be in politics so that we'll take care of the interest of our women or the welfare of these women. But because the women don't support us, that's why you know, we fail even before beginning it. So we have to start loving ourselves. We don't go about hearing men calling each other a shower. Men don't do that. They have serious things to deal with. Hassan cannot call you a shower now. He cannot,
He has
he has better things. And he may, if he really wants you or you are his person, he will push you if it is your ambition. But you see my own person not pushing me, and that's the person that is talking the hate speech. You know, like I said, we have so many other things we are dealing with. This should not be
one of them.
Yeah. And to add a little, that even in this family cycle, you will hear your mother is telling you that no, that's no go, is a no-go area. You as a woman, you want to do. So from there, you are even killing. And you imagine the family cycle is the number one place that you need to even push. But you get the discouragement there. I think we should stop it.
True, true. We already mentioned some of those remedies on how women can be active. And I think I pick a point earlier from what you said about education. The woman needs to be educated to know her place, not just in the family, but even in politics, because we're shying away from the dirty game. But we've seen women that have proven themselves. We had the likes of the Dora, we have Ibi, we have Aisha, we have lots of women that have proven over time that whatever is it the man can do, it's not like I want to be equal, but I also have the capacity. I also have what it takes to also rule Nigeria. I also have what it takes to add to the nation building. If we're talking about to sustain tomorrow, you cannot talk about sustainability without talking about the place of the woman in politics. So I think it's really, really important that we push one another. So because our time...
Before you conclude in 30 seconds, I just want to say this. Let's also give the women opportunity. Let's give them the capacity to be nurturers at home and to be leaders too in politics. Okay, look at when did it end? You know, women, it's our nature to be pregnant and give birth. Men don't have that. They can deal with situations like that. But women in politics, if we are talking, we want women in politics, we should give the capacity. Things that are supposed to be done, let's have the framework. Let's know that, okay, we are nurturers and also want to be leaders somewhere. And, you know, nature, our nature, we conceive and we give birth. And we can't be in that place without heavily pregnant.
So no 30 seconds, please.
And saying, 30 seconds. And just saying that, yes, creating that kind of environment, like even in the political arena and the rest, when you say, okay, because we have women in us, and then you know how it's going to stretch, we're taking from this time to this time so that we will recognize women that are in us. Even them, they will feel honored. They will feel respected. They will feel carried along. I feel it is important we create those
Thank you so much, Joyce, and thank you, Sulu Samba. I mean, this conversation was so interesting. I wish we could actually extend it, but our time is quite spent. And to our viewers, thank you so much for keeping a date with us on women in politics. Remember that as a woman, you have all that it takes to contribute to nation building. And the men, women are more than dancing. Women are more than what you think we are. Just give us the environment, make it palatable for us, and we'll prove to you that we can do much more. Till we come your way again tomorrow with yet another interesting and touching topic. Have a blessed day.